Good evening, Mayor Miller, council members. Once again, I'm happy to be here this evening and see all your smiling faces. I'm here once again to talk about that KB project. I know that all of you, or most of you, are big supporters of Ronald Reagan up there on the hill and that library that we have here. And I think all of you really think that it's a great thing to have that wonderful memorial up there. And by the same token, I think you all have strong thoughts about what Nancy Reagan always used to say. And one of her big points was just say no. And that's what you folks have got to do to KB. Just say no. This project should not be built without a new EIR. The EIR is wrong for several reasons. And we've gone over this many, many times. The EIR says there's no strontium-90 above background. This is wrong. In fact, almost every soil sample that's been taken to date has been above background and above the EPA's preliminary remediation goal. The developer says the cancer risk associated with strontium-90 is just 0.26, or a quarter in a million. At your request, the DHS came up with a risk-based number based on the amount of strontium-90 in the soil, and the number is 5 in a million. The EIR incorrectly underestimates strontium-90 cancer risk by 18 times. Both the radiation rangers and the city took surface water samples and creek soil samples in Runkle Canyon, something the developer did not even do. And we both found high levels of the toxic heavy metals, arsenic, vanadium, chromium, nickel, lead, and barium. The EIR does not have this information and needs to be redone. We commend the city and the developer for taking about 60 soil samples on the about 130 acres the homes will be built on. This is very recent. But the developer has said that on its website that no new testing is needed. And it said this for half a year. Why the change of heart? Because it was the right thing to do. Doing an EIR is crucial to protect the safety of this community. That looks like my time is out.
Time's up. Stephanie Hyatt.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My family and I own 2 businesses here in Simi Valley, and we feel very, very strongly about the atmosphere that you've created for us to work here, to live here, to play here. We're just very, very concerned about your choices with Runkle Canyon. As a business owner, we would love to see more people in the community, but this is not the right thing to do. This is not the right thing to do. I'm watching the fires all day on television. The last year, we had a fire right up off of Sequoia. Some of you remember it. I live in that area. It was so difficult to get fire trucks up and down the street with cars parked on the street. We know the environmental hazards. Everyone's reading the paper. We all have concerns about the environmental hazards there. I don't want the dust coming up and my kids swimming in the pool in my backyard. We've had many cancers in our family. It's not a fun thing to do. It just seems like all of the testing that's done raises so many questions, so many questions. KB Homes stands to profit so much from this project. Why can't they do a new EIR to allay our fears and to make sure that it is the right thing to do? Because right now, to the public, it doesn't look like it's the right thing to do. There are good ways and there are good growth opportunities in this city. This is not one of them, not yet. And it just seems like KB is so quick to just push this project along, and it's in our backyards. And all of us will have to really live with the long-standing repercussions of this. I mean, we're not talking about the crowding and the overcrowding in the schools that we're living with, the traffic issues that we've tried to deal with the traffic manager. He's been very helpful to us. We've tried putting the double yellow lines down Talbert Avenue, which is supposed to be the second exit to this grand development. It just shows us even more how small these streets are, and one lane in and out of this area, with Talbert being the second exit and entrance, it's just not going to work. We just hope that you will take into consideration our concerns and demand that KB does a new EIR for us all. And thank you for your time.
Eric Hyatt.
City Council. I'd like to talk again about Runkle Canyon. You know what, if we hadn't have come forward to stop this thing, that home project would have started last August, been built. And right now you'd have a situation with toxins in that canyon and homes. We know the toxins are there, you checked it, we checked it. And yet there was the bill that was just signed, 990, and you guys supported that, to have that Santa Susana field that cleaned up to its utmost. We feel that if it's good enough for you guys to vote for that, to be done on such a large scale up there, knowing that it's toxic, that we should do the same thing down here. We feel that lives are at stake. You know, on that EIR, they said that they had checked all those heavy metals and that they were all below. Well, let's say KB Homes was not lying, that they were true. Well, then that means that we have new toxins flowing into that canyon. We've had 2 earthquakes in just the last few times. How do you know that those tectonic plates haven't shuffled and some of that toxic goo isn't coming down here? Or we don't even know, according to the meeting that we just had down at the Playhouse, how they're going to clean it up. They all admitted that Department of Toxic Substances and Health and Safety, they said, we don't really know what's there or what we have to do to clean up, or if we'll have the money to. But what if they flush that soil to try and bring out that trichloroethylene or some of these others? These are cancerous materials that you found and we found. We asked for a new EIR. We asked for this to be agendized. We want more than 3 minutes to talk about the safety of the people here in Simi Valley. And I know you think that we have a beautiful view that we're trying to protect, but some of you live on Talbert, and no, we don't. You have a better view down here than what we have up there. This is something serious where lives are at stake. And right now, they'd probably be moving in kids and animals and everything else up into that area that now you know there's toxins in. And you had told us everything was all right. And you said, I can't believe that the EIR would be wrong, but I think we owe an obligation to the people. I took an oath. And we owe an obligation to protect the people of Simi Valley. And we'll check and see if this EIR is wrong. And I think we found that. If nothing else, it's not the same as what it was. I asked for a new EIR. This is not unreasonable. What would be unreasonable is to try and patch up something that you already know is wrong. It has to affect, now that there are those things up there, the wildlife. Your own paper said that. The man said, well, it has to affect the wildlife. If it gets into the arroyo, who knows what it'll affect. And it's headed this way. Gravity does that. Thank you.